A disturbing pattern is emerging that connects Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort to Jeffrey Epstein's criminal activities, and new evidence suggests the relationship was far darker than previously admitted. Recent reporting from the Wall Street Journal and a resurfaced 2007 New York Post article are revealing troubling details about what happened at Mar-a-Lago during the late 1990s and early 2000s. The story that Trump banned Epstein from his club appears to be incomplete at best and deliberately misleading at worst. The Wall Street Journal published an article this week about an incident in 2003 that supposedly led Trump to ban Epstein from Mar-a-Lago. However, when you read the headline carefully, it says Epstein was banned from the spa, not from Mar-a-Lago itself. This distinction matters enormously when you understand what was actually happening. According to the Wall Street Journal report, Epstein was not visiting the Mar-a-Lago spa. Instead, Trump was sending spa employees, who were usually young women, to Epstein's nearby mansion for massages and other services. These house calls went on for years. Even though spa employees warned each other about Epstein, staff members knew he was sexually suggestive and would expose himself during appointments. What the article describes is sexual assault and harassment happening to these young women. The report states that Epstein was not even a paying member of Mar-a-Lago, but Trump told his staff to treat him like one anyway. Epstein had an account at the spa where his companion Ghislaine Maxwell would book appointments for him. The arrangement only stopped in 2003 after an 18-year-old beautician returned from a house call to Epstein and reported to managers that he had pressured her for sex. But here is where the story gets even more suspicious. A 2007 article from the New York Post, which is owned by Rupert Murdoch, just like the Wall Street Journal, reported that Epstein had been banned from Mar-a-Lago. The article quoted a source saying Epstein would use the spa to try to get girls, and that one masseuse's father found out and was furious. However, in that same article, Epstein himself denied being banned. He said he was not banned at all and had recently been invited to an event at Mar-a-Lago. There was no statement from Trump or his organization contradicting Epstein's claim. This suggests that while Epstein may have been banned from using the spa services, he was not actually banned from the property itself. And since he was never going to the spa in the first place, but rather having young women sent to his home, the ban appears to have been meaningless or fake. The timing of when the ban supposedly happened also raises questions. Some reports say it was around 2003 after the incident with the beautician, but a Trump Organization attorney said Trump prohibited Epstein from visiting the club around 2007 as a reaction to criminal charges filed against Epstein. Meanwhile, research from journalists shows that Epstein's membership account at the club was not closed until October 2007, which coincides with when he entered his guilty plea deal. All of this was happening during the exact time period when Epstein was running his child sex trafficking operation. Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's most well-known victims, was recruited from Mar-a-Lago when she was working there as a teenager. This is not speculation, but established fact that Trump himself has acknowledged. There is even more disturbing evidence in the form of emails between Epstein and Steve Bannon from June 2019. In these messages, Epstein wrote to Bannon saying that Prince Andrew and Trump were in the news and joked that Prince Andrew's accuser came out of Mar-a-Lago. Bannon responded by saying he could not believe nobody was making Epstein the connecting link. This exchange shows that even Epstein and people in Trump's circle understood that Mar-a-Lago was the recruitment ground for victims. Flight records also contradict Trump's claims. Trump has said he was never on Epstein's plane, but prosecutors sent an email in January 2020 noting that flight records showed Trump traveled on Epstein's private jet many more times than previously reported or known. These flights occurred during the 1990s, the exact period when Epstein's criminal activities were taking place and when Ghislaine Maxwell was helping him. Mar-a-Lago actively recruited young women to work at the spa. Job advertisements sought spa attendants for the locker room facilities and specifically encouraged college students to apply. The uniform for these positions was a white mini skirt and a skin-tight white polo top. These young women were then being sent to Epstein's mansion where abuse occurred. When Trump was asked about this aboard Air Force One, he admitted that people were taken from his spa and hired by Epstein. He claimed he told Epstein not to take his people and eventually kicked him out when it happened again. But when asked directly if Virginia Giuffre was one of those people, Trump said he thought she worked at the spa and that Epstein had taken her. He used the word stolen to describe what happened, as if these were simply employees being poached by a competitor rather than young women being recruited into a sex trafficking operation. Now there is news that over 5 million pages of Epstein files have not been reviewed by the Department of Justice, despite the Epstein Transparency Act requiring their release. This represents a massive amount of potentially damaging information that remains hidden from public view. The question many people are asking is, what exactly is in those files and why are they being concealed? The pattern that emerges from all this evidence is deeply troubling. For years during the 1990s and early 2000s, Trump and Epstein were close friends who socialized together regularly. During this same period, young women working at Mar-a-Lago were being sent to Epstein's home where sexual abuse occurred. Trump knew this was happening because employees complained about it, yet the arrangement continued for years. When it finally became a problem in 2003, the solution was apparently a fake ban that did not actually prevent Epstein from continuing to visit Mar-a-Lago itself. The business relationship and friendship only truly ended around 2007, when Epstein's crimes became public through his guilty plea. The evidence suggests that Mar-a-Lago functioned as a recruitment location for Epstein's operation, whether knowingly or through willful ignorance. Young women were employed there, sent to Epstein's home, and some became victims of trafficking. Trump has admitted this happened, but has tried to frame it as Epstein simply hiring away his employees rather than what it actually was, which was recruitment into a criminal enterprise. The millions of pages of sealed documents may contain even more information about the full extent of this relationship and what Trump knew or participated in during those years.